I love taxidermy because I love animals, all sorts of animals, and in a way it's giving them a second lease of life when you send them off to be stuffed by taxidermists. They take on a new form or a new character. Each animal and each piece has a part of history and a story attached to it. I'm Chantal Fortune from Florence Fortune's antique shop in Bray in County Wicklow, and I specialise in native Irish taxidermy. Antiques, vintage drapery and fancy goods. A collection of curiosities we have here in the shop. Goes back to very early Victorian times. I mean, even later into the Georgian times, where they would shoot stags as sport and have trophy heads mounted on their walls. Skinned leopards and tigers as carpets. I think it's coming back into vogue a little bit, but it wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. It's a very specific thing. You either love it or not. This is the very, very fine stuffed peacock. His name is George, and he's now being preserved forever, and a fine piece at that. The badger was found dead on the road very early one morning. He was roadkill. The very next day drove him out to a taxidermist in Balbriggan to get him stuffed. In terms of negative aspects to taxidermy, as a shopkeeper, I've only ever once had one lady who kind of walked in, saw all the stuffed stuff, and walked straight back out saying that she had had nightmares when she was little about stuffed animals, so she left, so that's fine. When I want something like a specific animal to be sent off to a taxidermist, I call the hunter. He hunted this very fine pheasant up in the Wicklow Hills. But the hunter is a very useful man to know. The strangest story I have ever heard, it's only a tale, is about a very prestigious antique dealer here in Ireland being called to a gentleman's house to value the contents of his house. And the gentleman asked the antique dealer into the parlour to see the stuffed Negro he has. A stuffed Kenyan Negro, a warrior man, and very politely and in the nicest possible way, the antique dealer had to say to the collector that their auction house could sadly not be seen to be selling such things.
I'm wondering just